Good morning, evening, or afternoon. How you doing today, friends and amigos? Today's video is me talking about my bus life adventure / journey so far. My adventure starts off from leaving home. The feelings when I think back to that, it was both frustrating and terrifying. Frustrating because when I tried to leave home, it took me days. I'd constantly think about what I needed to put in the bus, what I was going to bring with me. And after loading up, it took a couple days. Finally got the bus ready, took a couple weeks. I just wanted to go. I was very impatient, and that, I'll get into this, that was a very bad idea. So I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but being impatient, loading up. So on the day I finally left, I actually got about half an hour, 40 minutes down the road, had to turn around and go back home because I forgot something very important that I couldn't leave without, which was a total bummer. So that's unfortunate on that one. So I actually left, and I left around 10 at night. I was just gonna drive throughout the night because at that time I was a real heavy night owl. I could easily stay up through the night, which was not healthy, not healthy at all. So that was my plan. I was leaving through the night. I turned around, came home, and I just stayed at home. It was too late, too tired, did not want to do anything drive-wise. It wore me out just the 40 minutes, and I was like, I don't want to sleep out on the road. I don't know what I'm doing. This is scary. So skip ahead to the next day. Got my stuff. I finally leave the house, and I am on my way. I don't know how to feel on that moment. It was awesome. I was getting out there. Jelena implanted the bus life dream into my head, and I was happy about it. It's awesome. I was getting to live in my bus. I got to travel the US. Not a lot of people get to do that. So we encountered a little problem leaving. I went to go visit my friends, and from my job, my hospice job I've told you folks about, and that's how I ended up getting the bed. So that was a very welcomed addition. And then as I was leaving, I encountered a little bit of problems with the bus, but it got solved. Everything turned out okay, and then I hit that road. I hit the highway. So we get to our first night, guys, and I was twitching and jumping at all noises. I did not like it. It was not comfortable, and I was scared. So I'm obviously doing this solo. Even though I may be big and scary to some, if somebody breaks into the bus, I've never encountered a situation where I might have to confront somebody. So I was a little scared, especially because the bus wasn't set up. I didn't have anything. I was laying on a mattress on the floor. Not only that, my privacy measures I had set up were not perfect. There were still gaps. It was hard to keep it closed, and it wasn't fun dealing with that. So that was my very first night, and it did not get better from there. So some of you already may know this, following the channel, I've talked about it, but to go in depth further, plans changed. I actually started my bus life journey like 2 months ahead of schedule. I ended up having to leave my job for reasons. So that put me in a very bad position to start the bus life journey. One thing I will tell you guys that I've come to realize, and that I am regretful for that I didn't do, is planning ahead. Always plan ahead. I was able to get rid of some of my debt, some of the stuff that held me back, but I didn't get rid of all of it. And that really screwed with me. It made everything harder. Even to this day, I'm still encountering problems with that. We're getting closer though. Things are slowly picking up, and that is thanks to you guys. Thank you so much, of course, for watching my videos, leaving the likes, dropping the comments. Thank you. So the journey continues. We're going every night. I'm not liking it. You kind of get used to it, but at the same time, you should never get used to staying in a vehicle, being fully comfortable. Always have your protective measures. Always be twitchy at the slightest noises. Always be ready to defend yourself. That sounds really bad to say, but I'm just trying to prepare you for the worst. Even though it may not happen, hopefully it never happens in your life. Just never plan on it not happening. Always try to keep some form of protective measure to defend yourself. So the route continues. I left and I started making my way up to Oregon to be with Jelena and Isaac. But you know, plans always change, and my plans did for sure change. The route that I was originally taking me was going to go through Colorado. Now, those of you who joined my channel and been a long-time viewer, my tires were awful. I was very scared to drive through the Colorado Rockies. I was very scared to drive through Colorado, as I did not think or even know if my bus could handle that, and it's a very good thing I did. I wasn't paying attention to this, but as all you know, my tires were so bad that Jelena and Isaac were surprised I made it here without any of them blowing up on me. So that's kind of crazy. So I'm very happy that I ended up skipping Colorado altogether. But with skipping Colorado, I went south through Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and I made it to my friend. One of the very few only friends that I still keep in contact with. I made it down to Southern California after days of travel. And around that time, if you guys still remember, that was the time that Isaac and Jelena actually had the break-ins. Stuff, people being like mean. I would like to use other words, but I should not. I think I'll get hit by YouTube if I do. But that was around the time I finally made it to Southern California to hang out with my friend. As you know, my whole point of bus life was to be able to travel, do what I wanted. So I got there, hung out, and then Jelena actually sends me a text, wondering how long it'll take till I get there. And then I actually learned that through that information and continuing to talk with her that they were having break-ins. So being the brother that I am, I actually left California early because I was planning to hang out just for a little while longer. I hadn't seen this friend of mine in a couple years, so I wanted to hang out with him and the family. But being the brother I am, my thoughts were, once I learned that information, I was like, I gotta go. I stayed, I think, one more day just that night, and then the very next day, the journey continues. It was a fond farewell. Things were awesome. I'm so happy you got to see them, but from there, I just booked it. So I finally left Southern California, and I was about to make a trip that was 1,000 to 1,200 miles away from SoCal, I guess as they call it, to Oregon. I wanted to be able to be near Jelena to help and make sure things stayed safe around the property, as little Ember was just newborn and I was nervous for them. So I said one day I'm gonna go. I left a little early in the day. I was hoping to hit the desert, California's desert. I was hoping to hit that like midday or even later possibly. That did not turn out to be the case. It gets hot in that desert. It's brutal. I actually stuck my arm out in the desert because I didn't have AC, so all I could rely on was the air, and that sun hit my arm for only a couple hours and sunburned me. It was incredibly, brutally hot out there. The craziest thing, traveling through the desert, it finally gets nighttime, and I end up encountering the worst storm I've been a part of yet in the bus. It only been a couple days, and it was the worst storm I've ever been a part of. It was nighttime, almost pure dark. And that storm, it was coming down so heavily, I couldn't turn the wipers on fast enough to actually be able to see out the window. It was bad. And of course, I'm driving a bus that have very bad tires through this. Oh goodness, and I'm just being impatient, so I just want to get to where I'm going. Of course, safely. Let's not exclude that word, safely. But man, that had to have been the worst storm I have ever been a part of. The good thing is I got to see that the bus held up pretty well. Not a lot of leaking anywhere. I don't think, there's only one spot that actually leaked, and I've already fixed that spot. So it was awesome. That storm really helped me see that the bus is at least no one's done anything too crazy to destroy its integrity. But from there, I make it to a gas station at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I get me some energy drinks. For those of you who don't know, I hate energy drinks. I just don't drink them. I don't At one point I used to drink them so heavily they didn't do anything for me. So I had been on a years, almost a decade type or longer ban from energy drinks. They didn't do nothing. I didn't like them. They were just not tasty. But that night I did get me some energy drinks, and boyo, I'll tell you what, without those energy drinks, things could have been bad, because I pulled an all-nighter and I kept on going. It was brutal. That was the worst thing I could have done, but I made it. I made it. And then we get to the journey thus far. I made it here. I made it to the shop, and I got to meet little Ember and Isaac, and I got to re-encounter Jelena. It's a weird way to phrase it, I get it. Up to that point, so I've just been hanging around here. That's my journey thus far. If you made it to this point, thanks for listening to my journey. Hopefully I expressed it well enough. Hopefully I was entertaining. And thanks with Jelena's help. A major shout out to Jelena, of course. Leave her wild. She helped me build this bus. If it wasn't for Jelena, I probably wouldn't have gotten any of this done. Nowhere near as fast as I did. Probably at all. Because I was of the mindset to be lazy. I didn't want to do nothing. And I'm very happy that Jelena, in her own unique, special way, got me to get this bus built. So, thank you, Jelena. Thus, with my journey so far, the one thing that I can absolutely say to all you lovely folks at home is plan ahead. Do I do that? No, I still don't do that. Do I know I need to do that? Yeah, I do know I need to do that. It's really hard to plan ahead because plans always change, but instead of being super specific like I tried to do and it didn't work out well, just make a vague plan ahead so you know what goals you're aiming to accomplish. Like, such as, I should have planned ahead. I need to make it to Oregon. If I had that very vague goal, I would have came up with many goals to accomplish to meet the bigger goal. So planning ahead is one of those things that I would 100% recommend before you do anything in life. But that brings us to the end of the video and my journey thus far, friends and amigos. Thank you for watching up to this point. I really appreciate it. Those views help me so much. The comments and likes as well. It really helps get me put out to the algorithm so other people can find me due to YouTube helping advertise for me. If you guys could leave a like, subscribe, help a brother out, much appreciated, much love, much respect. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.